Birdman hands. Hello, my name is Mr. J3T, aka Big Sexy, aka the Kentucky Cannon, aka the World Class Badass, aka Chocolate Thunder with a Caramel Swirl, aka Black Lightning with a Peanut Butter Filling, aka the Man of the Century, aka Big Daddy Long, and y'all know the rest. So, Happy New Year, everybody, 2025. So, I hope all of you had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful Happy New Year. So, it's 2025, and I was thinking, what's going to be the first video of 2025? You know, my first video of 2025. What is it going to be? I was thinking about it, but then I saw this little indie game recently. I heard of this little indie game, so we're going to talk about it. So this indie game is called MiSide or MiSide. It's like this. It's kind of like a Doki Doki Literature Club situation. It's like a dating. It's like a. You know those little Tamagotchi games back in the day? It's basically like that. Like, it's a little dating sim / Tamagotchi game where this little cute little, seemingly cute little anime girl, right? You take care of her basically. You feed her, give her clothes, like buy her clothes, buy her gifts and all that to keep her happy, right? But then some strange things start to happen. I wonder what happens. So, yeah. I heard about this a few weeks ago, and I thought it was interesting, so I went to go watch a playthrough on YouTube, and it is interesting. So, let's talk about it. So, this, like I said before, this game gave me some serious Doki Doki Literature Club vibes. So for those of you that don't know what Doki Doki Literature Club is, that's another like indie horror game, visual novel horror game where this seemingly cute little dating sim turns into this creepy like horror game, right? I was getting a lot of the same vibes here. It's about the main character, right? He gets a text from his phone on his phone, excuse me. He gets a text on his phone, and it's basically the game called MiSide, and he has to take care of this girl named Mita. So he's on it for a month. This dude has no life pretty much. He's on that thing for a month, and Mita sucks him into the video game world, and that's when all like the creepy stuff starts to happen. This game really nails its creepy atmosphere. Like, it really just nails like just the vibe, you know? Because when the main character goes into the video game world, when he gets dragged into the video game world, it's normal. It starts normal at first, but then like the main character slowly like starts to pick up on all these little red flags, and the moment like everything turns creepy, like it does its job, because hell, even before Mita shows up, it does a great job at just nailing its creepy atmosphere, because the first time he gets pulled into the game, he's in a different version of the game, because with this there's multiple versions of this game with multiple Mitas, and he goes to an older version of this game, and like nobody's around, the lights go out, and he has to find batteries, and we have these little messages on the walls saying like, who are you, or let's play, you know, stuff like that, right? And it nails it. And then when Mita shows up, that's when things completely go crazy off the walls. So yeah, it nails the creepy atmosphere perfectly. There are some times where this game actually kind of did get me sometimes, and yeah, games, jump scares, like all that, like I don't usually tend to get scared by I usually don't tend to get scared by video horror games or like horror movies and all that much. I used to be scared, but I'm not that scared anymore, because like jump scares, like they're kind of predictable. You can kind of predict when a jump scare is going to happen. So like, I don't really get that scared while watching horror movies and all that, or horror games. But not gonna lie, there are some parts in this game that actually got me. So now on to Mita herself. Now the main Mita, the main one that we meet and who's going to be the main antagonist, uh, she she is a character that somehow gains sentience, and she wants the player to stay with her like forever, right? So the guy we're playing as, and yeah, it's one of those things, right? So she's clearly evil. Like she clearly she does a lot of stuff in this game that's like very evil, very serial killish, like very serial killer, very like very unhinged, and uh, but she still claims to care about the player. She still claims to like just she wants to love him. She wants to be with him in like that possessive way. So it's kind of, I don't want to say conflicted, but yeah, I don't really know how to describe it. But yeah, she has it's a mixed bag. Like she's a murderer, she's crazy, she does a lot of evil stuff, but at the same time, it's like she kind of actually does care about the player. So it's weird, but we find out that I don't know if I want to spoil it though. I don't know if I want to say what happens. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna say much, but yeah. But yeah, like I said before, she's not the only Mita. She's the main antagonist Mita. We meet all these other Mitas that the player meets on his journey, and one Mita, one version of Mita that like I really kind of felt bad for was it's a version of Mita that goes by Mila, and like we meet Mila at sort of like the halfway point, the halfway near the end point of the game, and it's like we're in her version of the apartment in her world, and not gonna lie, I kind of felt bad for her because like Mila's whole thing is that she wants no part of the other Mitas. She wants to be her own person, her own thing. Hence why she changed her name from Mita to Mila, and she just wants to do her own thing. But we see just how like lonely she is, because at first, like when the player comes to her world, she's like very hostile at first, but then she kind of slowly starts to like wanting him to stay because like she's just that lonely. And as a matter of fact, that's probably the word I was looking for. Yeah, that's probably how I would describe the main antagonist Mita, just lonely. All of these Mitas are just very lonely because they're in their own little worlds in just their own apartments and just lonely, nobody else. So I can see why the main evil Mita wants the player to stay so bad, because she's just I have a feeling that she's lonely and just wants somebody there. And it's the same thing with Mila, you know. I felt very bad for her, especially what happens. I'm not gonna spoil, but yeah, I I I felt bad for her. And another Mita version of Mita, a small like kid Mita. I also felt very bad for her. That little kid Mila is different though, because unlike the rest of the Mitas, where they all have their own little, though their own little worlds, their own little pocket dimensions, if you will. Uh, the kid Mita, she doesn't seem to have a little pocket. She doesn't seem to have a little apartment to herself, because there's a part in the game where the main character, the player we're playing as, he gets stuck in like a little loop, right? And when he's further goes further and further and further into the loop, he eventually meets little kid Mita, and like uh she's also wants him to stay and is also like very lonely. So like I that's the feeling, that's the word I was looking for. Just a lot, all of these Mitas are just very lonely when you think about it, and just want some kind of companionship with somebody, which you could probably like you can under you can understand where like the evil Mita is coming from, but it's like you're still crazy, you know. You're killing, you're doing some evil stuff. You're doing some very out of pocket evil stuff. So it's like I get it, but it's could you not, you know? Uh, and those are only just a few Mitas that I'm talking about. Uh, when you beat the game and you go to the menu and all that, you see that there's like a whole row of different Mitas that you can meet. And the playthrough that I watched, he only met like two, like three or four Mitas. Like there's a whole so many other Mitas you can meet. So I think that's kind of cool. This game has a lot of replay value. It has a lot of like you can replay it just to like not only meet the different Mitas but also meet the different unlock all the different endings, because there are three different endings. I'm not going to talk about any of them. I'm not going to spoil any of them. But yeah, there are three different endings that you can unlock. Obviously, other characters, other versions of Mita that you can meet. This game is just, I really liked it. It nailed the horror. It nailed like Mita as a character. I really liked and really felt for some versions of Mita in this game. Now, the player the player himself, the character that we play as, the main character, he is what I like to call a self insert character, a self insert main character. Uh, so, for those of you that don't know what a self insert character is, it's basically a character that has no personality, like no defining traits, like kind of bland, just purely a character that you can project yourself onto, that you can imagine that you're in his shoes. Uh, that's the player that we're playing as. He doesn't really have any defying qualities. Hell, he doesn't even have a name. Like, we pick the name for him. So, not much to write home about. He's purely only there so you can imagine yourself in his position. So, he's nothing to write home about. Everything else is good, though. So, it nails the horror. It nails, like, the multiple characters of Mita. The main character is a self insert. uh, Now, what I will say is there are some times where this game can get a little glitchy at times. Like there are moments on the main menu where like Mita's hand just goes through like her clothing. I can't do that because this is real life. But yeah, her hand like kind of sort of goes through her clothing a bit. There are times where like Mita is supposed to like follow you, but she kind of takes forever to like actually come towards you. So I did notice a few small little glitches here and there. Nothing like game breaking, but they're still noticeable. But yeah, all in all, I really liked this game. Like I was a big fan of Doki Doki Literature Club, and I was getting those same vibes here. And if you like Doki Doki, you'll like this. It's a very solid game. It has a very solid plot, some like great horror moments, and also like great character moments from all, not just the evil Mita, but all different versions of Mita. There's also like there's also like a theory about the player. I don't know if I want to talk about the theory. Should I talk about the theory? No, I'm not. So there's an interesting theory about the main character that I think's really cool. I kind of want to say it, but I don't know if that will be considered like a spoiler or not, if it is true. But uh, y'all can look it up if y'all are interested. But yeah, there is one thing interesting about the main character, and that's that theory. And if it proves to be true, that would be actually a great way to like actually make the main character like interesting, you know? So anyway, and not just a self-insert. But yeah, anyway, it's a very solid game. I give it two thumbs up. Two thumbs up. So yeah, that's about it. First video of 2025. Yeah, we made it. So I just want to say thank you to everybody watching, to everybody that stuck around. I know that I've been gone. I've been gone for like a minute, but as I said in another video, like I'm really want to get back on the horse, you know, to do this consistently again. And I don't know about y'all, but I think I've been doing a good job. I think I've been doing a pretty good job on staying consistent. I know I didn't upload, but I know I didn't upload during the whole like Christmas and New Year's and all that. But it's Christmas and New Year's, you know, so I was chilling with my fam. So, but I'm here now, better late than never. So thank all of you. Thank all of you for watching me, for subscribing, for getting my name out there. Thank all of you for this. I want to thank all of you for the support. Just thank you. Thank you. And there will be many more in the future. So, yeah, that's about it. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. But if you really like me, then consider subscribing and ring that bell so you always know whenever I upload, because it is free. Don't be a dum-dum. Subscribe today. Deuces.